So like when I'm thinking about morally gray character in a dark romance, I think of him. He is obsessive. He is, oh gosh, he is everything and more. Like, hey guys, welcome or welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Mima and I basically talk about books. I document my life as a book lover and a bookseller. So today's video is going to be a mid-year book tag. I mean, I don't really know who came up with this tag originally, but obviously I love booktube. I'm always watching booktube and it's literally been on my homepage. Everyone right now is doing a mid-year book tag, and I didn't realize that we're actually in the middle of the year, which is crazy to me because I don't know, to me it's just been like January felt like yesterday. And yeah, so I'm actually excited about this. Obviously I've never done one. This is actually my first year of me, you know, taking booktube seriously. And when I've seen like my favorite booktubers doing it, literally everyone on booktube is doing a mid-year book tag, I felt like it was going to be fun if I did one. So I have some questions pulled up, which are going to be the questions that we're going to answer based on the books that I have read or that I'm going to be talking about for this year 2025. And so if I'm going to be using my phone, it's basically me just, you know, reading the questions and yeah, saying the prompts because I'm not going to remember these questions off by heart. So okay, wait, hold on guys, like my phone actually just died. So let me just go and charge it quickly. So the first question we have is the best books of 2025 so far. And this, I'm going to put it as the same category as my 5 stars because the best books that I'm going to show you are books that I rated 5 stars. Oh my gosh, wait, sorry. Before we start on the questions, let's start with some statistics. You see how bad I am at this? Please like bear with me. Mind you, I'm not like, I wouldn't say like a professional booktuber because what is even that? But like I'm still trying to, you know, get the hang of me being on YouTube and me speaking to the camera. So sometimes I may get lost and forget that I have to do certain things in the video. So I'm sorry. Yes, so let's start with some statistics. I'm going to put up my Fable right here because I mean Fable just looks more aesthetically pleasing. I don't know, it's just so cute. But I do use GOODREADS a lot though. But yeah, so on Fable, it does say that I have read 23 books. My goal for this year was 50. Honestly, like I am way ahead of my reading goal, which I'm actually proud of myself. But I just feel like the reading goal, the only reason why I do set a goal is because I literally set goals for myself almost everything that I do in my life. I feel like for me it's just like kind of like a push that I need, a motivating point. Not that like I wouldn't read if I don't set a goal. And obviously I read because I love to read. I read for pleasure, I read for fun, like it's what I love to do. But I just feel like by putting a number, it is like a game to me. Like I don't know, it's like a race, like oh my gosh, like can I do more? But even if I do less, I'm still going to be happy regardless. I'm not going to like beat myself up for it, you get what I mean? But yeah, so I have read 23 books so far this year, and let's see the number of pages that I have read on Fable. So here are the number of pages that I have read. So now that we're done with the stats, let's start with the first question, which I mentioned was best books of 2025. And I mentioned that I will join this with my 5-star books because these books are the books that I have rated 5 stars. I am kind of like very strict with my 5 stars. It's rare that I'm going to just, you know, rate a book a 5-star because oh, like, you know, I just liked it. Like I have to be fully obsessed with the story, with the writing, just everything about the book needs to be like a 10 out of 10 for me to rate it a 5-star. Now I just want to like, you know, give a heads up in terms of like maybe like any type of disappointments that I had in the books. If any of the disappointments or any books that I did not enjoy are your favorites, please like don't take it personal. Reading is always so subjective. It's basically like movies, TV shows. Everyone has their own opinions, everyone has their own thoughts on different books, and I feel like it's important for everyone to have like, you know, to remind everyone of that. Like, don't try to like make anyone feel bad because they didn't enjoy your favorite book. Like, I have a book bestie, there's books that she might enjoy, that she was obsessed with, that I didn't enjoy, and I mean, I love that because that means that we're just like, we're so different, and it just presses the fact that like reading is very much subjective and everyone has different feeling towards books. So yeah, I didn't come here to rant about that or like preach. But yeah, so we're gonna start with the first book that I recently finished in the month of June. It is June 1st by Jennifer Hartman. So Jennifer Hartman actually became one of like my, I wouldn't say favorite authors, but definitely an author that I was obsessed with her writing, and I wanted to read more of her. But now, after reading this, she's now become one of my top favorite authors, because I had only read one book by her, which was Still Beating. And after reading one book, I don't really like to say that, oh, like she's my favorite author, because I mean, you know, an author can have like one book that you love and then you end up reading like 4 or 3 books of theirs and you might have not enjoyed, you know what I mean? Yeah. But with her, I feel like right now she's definitely my top favorite authors. As of now, I do have more books of her on my shelves and I cannot wait to dive into them. So this is, like I said, June 1st. I gave it a 5-star. If you'd like to, like, you know my thoughts or like my review on this, I did post a video on it on my TikTok, and I do have a detailed like thoughts description. I wrote it on my Instagram as a post, so that's that. And then the next one that I rated a 5-star was Magnolia Parks by Jessa Hastings. I absolutely loved this book. I think I loved it more because this is not the type of genre that I usually go for when it comes to like writing. And I wouldn't even say this is like your regular romance book, because it is full-on drama, full-on toxic love, toxic relationships. But I don't know, Jessa Hastings has a way of like, you know, describing emotions in such a beautiful way, and I gravitate towards that like so much. And I feel like she's one of the authors that really made me be able to like connect to characters, and I loved it. Like, there's literally no spice, and I devoured it. Like, I really loved it and I was obsessed with it. So that, I gave it a 5-star. I'm not really going to like explain, I'm not going to explain like what all these books that I'm reading about, because I do have like my reviews up on like TikTok, on my Instagram. So yeah, but I'm sure if you're watching this, I'm sure you've read this book or you know what it is about. But yeah, I loved this book. And then we have a trilogy, actually. This is the Monsters trilogy by Rena Kent. So the first book is Blood of My Monster, and the second book is Lies of My Monster, and the last book is Heart of My Monster. This book, I literally finished these 3 books in a week, and they were my favorite books ever. Like, these are only like, I want to count this as one book, and the Magnolia Parks and the June 1st literally are the only books that I have read so far out of 23 books that I rated a 5-star. I loved it. Like, I loved it so much. I don't know what else to say about it, but please, if you haven't read this book, please, I mean, if you haven't read this series, please do, because you guys will not regret it. And I think that's all for my 5 stars. Best sequels of 2025 so far. Okay, so I don't have many because I don't really go for series. I usually read standalones, but the best sequel that I've read this year so far was Magnolia Park's A Long Way Home by Jessa Hastings. I tabbed this in the beginning, but then I ended up finishing the rest of the book on my iPad. I need to finish tabbing it. But anyway, this book, oh my gosh, like the way it ended literally broke my heart. Like I said, Jessa Hastings will make you feel with her writing, and that's exactly how I felt. Like I felt every character in this book. I loved it so much. And yeah, what can I say? This is literally the only sequel that I have read this year that I loved so much. Again, this was a 5-star, I believe. Did I rate it 5-star? Yeah, I rated it a 5-star, but it's the second book of Magnolia Park, so I feel like for me it's just one book, because I mean it's a series. So the next tag is new releases you haven't read yet but want to. Okay, so I have The Favorites by Lane Fargo. I have heard nothing but great things about this book, and I know I'm going to like it a lot because I have read They Never Learn by her, and I loved that book. I was obsessed with the book. I loved it so much, so I feel like I'm going to really love this. So that's that. I don't know what it's about, and I don't know what it's about. All I know is that the characters, I believe they are ice skaters or something, professional ice skaters, and they have this obsessive type of relationship where they're obsessed with each other but in an unhealthy way. But that's all I want to know. Yeah, so I'm not going to read about it or anything. The next new release that I really want to read is the I Can't Get Enough by Kennedy Ryan. I have only read the first book of the series, which is Before I Let Go, so I'm yet to read This Could Be Us. And then I can't wait to read the I Can't Get Enough, because I know I'm just going to love the series. I loved the first book. Yeah, what else is there to say? The next book is Bat Eater by Kylie Lee Baker. So this is a horror book. I actually got the special edition book by the Evernight subscription. This book, well, when I got it, I hadn't heard anything about it, but now on my TikTok, this book is talked about almost by everyone that I follow, kind of that read this kind of genre, and they all say that it's really, really good. So this is definitely one of the books that I want to read. Yeah, so it's really cute, really pretty, and it actually is short. I don't know if you guys can see, but it's not that long at all. So yeah, and then the next book that I want to read is Enigma by Runix. I read Gothicana by her. I wasn't fully obsessed with that book because what threw me off was the relationship. The relationship between the FMC and the MMC just felt too lusty for me. I don't know if that's a word, but yeah, I didn't feel any kind of connection between them. But I loved her writing. I loved how atmospheric the whole book was, so that what kept me going, and yeah. But based on what people are saying about Enigma, a lot of people felt the same way about Gothicana and said they loved Enigma. So I know I definitely want to read that book by her because I was in love with her writing. So I mean, I think she can make up for it in this book, so I'm hoping to like that one. And then the next tag is biggest surprise in a good way and in a disappointing way. So let's start with the good ones, right? So I have a couple here. So my biggest surprise actually was this book. It's called The Woman Who Lied by Claire Douglas. The reason why this was a surprise for me, because I really enjoyed this. Like, this was so entertaining, it was so fun. I really loved it. It is a psychological thriller, and I was surprised because I went into this book not feeling like I'm going to like it. I literally randomly like picked it up when I went to the bookstore one day with my mom when I was in Canada in December, and I was looking for like more thrillers, you know, and I had heard nothing about this book, and I literally just picked it up and I read the back, and it said that like our FMC was an author, and that's what like captivated me, because I love books that have like bookish themes. Like if the FMC or the MMC is an author, or maybe it's set in a bookstore, or maybe like, you know, any type of bookish themes in a book, I love that so much. So when I read at the back that like, you know, she writes novels for a living, I really wanted to read it, and it actually really didn't disappoint. Like, I was really surprised at how much I enjoyed it. I finished it while I was actually getting my hair braided, so that was a big surprise because I really enjoyed it. I didn't, obviously it wasn't like a 5-star, but I really enjoyed the book. And then my other biggest surprise in a good way was this duology by Darcy Coates. So I read the, oh wait, hold on, this does not count. I read this last year in December. Okay, let's forget about this. Okay, let's forget about that. The other surprise was Once You're Mine by Morgan Bridges and Now You're Mine. This duology is called Possessing Her. This is book 1, this is book 2. This was actually kind of disappointing because I went into these books thinking I was going to like really like it. Like, I was hoping to be obsessed with our MMC, but I was not. I don't even remember what this book was about, but I know that it is a stalker romance, but I just didn't like it at all. But I was really hoping to be obsessed with it because it was one of my most anticipated reads of like my dark romance genre books that I really wanted to read this year, because a lot of people rave about this on Book Talk, especially like from the ones that I follow on TikTok. They love dark romance and they said it was really good, but I don't know, it didn't get for me. And then the next one that was disappointing was The Tenant by Frida McFadden. So I love thrillers and I really like Frida McFadden. She is really good at what, you know, I'd like popcorn thrillers. They're just really fun, very fast paced. They always take me out of like my reading slumps. If I'm like, you know, if I feel like I'm having one or I'm getting one, I just pick up a Frida McFadden book. But this one was kind of disappointing because based on like what I was hearing about other people saying about this, I don't know, I saw one TikTok or like, I don't know if it was YouTube, and they were raving about it, saying that like they really loved it and saying all these good things about this book. So I was like, oh, okay, well, I probably would like it if this person is saying that they like it, but I did not like it at all. It felt just so annoying. I don't know, this was not a psychological thriller to me. This just felt like me reading about our MMC going through the worst nightmare ever. And yeah, I don't know, I mean, I like the ending was like what picked it up for me, and I was like, oh, okay, well, this makes sense. But then I don't know, it just felt really annoying to me. So that is that. And yeah, so I think those ones are the biggest surprises. And our next one is most anticipated release for the second half of the year. Now, sorry, before we start with that one, remember I did the best sequels of 2025, right? The best sequels, yes, sorry, I'm getting confused. Okay, I'm so sorry about this. Anyway, let's figure what I said. We're still at the biggest surprises. Sorry, I have one more disappointment, which was Daisy Hates by Jessa Hastings. Obviously, this was one of my biggest disappointments out of even all the ones that I showed you before the disappointments. was because I loved Magnolia Parks, right? So I was thinking I'm going to love Daisy Hates as well. This almost made me stop reading the series, but I think I just figured that I don't like Daisy Hates. And yeah, I think she's just all over the place for me. She just really, really pissed me off on so many levels, but like on stupid shit. Like, sorry for my language, but like she was really pissing me off, and I wasn't able to like vouch for her. I wasn't able to connect for her, and I think this is what makes it different for me, because mind you, this is not my regular genre, and so if I'm not connecting to the character, I'm going to obviously not like the book, because why am I reading it? I also felt like the plot of this book was like non-existent all throughout. I think it literally only picked up with the plot around like this much of the book. And because I mean, yeah, we are reading about like these rich characters doing like rich people things, and I get that, but it's like this book was just no, I didn't like it. I really didn't like it, especially the Julian POV. I was really hoping for more, and at least for me to like the book, but I didn't like it. I really didn't like it. If you want to hear more of like my real thoughts on it, please go just on my Instagram. It is linked down in my description, so yeah, you can go and see my thoughts about this one. So the next one, we are going with most anticipated release for the second half of the year. So I think I only have 2 books that I know of that are like upcoming this year. Is Time of Your Life by Jessa Hastings. I'm gonna put it right here. This book, I really want to read this book. I don't know if I'm gonna read it this year or maybe next year, but I actually cannot wait to grab my hands on that book. And then the next one is The Intruder by Frida McFadden. I think that one is coming out in October. The one by Jessa Hastings is coming out, I believe, this month, because I'm filming this, we are 1st of July, and yeah, I think it's coming out in July or something, I don't know. But yeah, I'm super excited. I don't know what any of these books are about, but if it's by Jessa Hastings, I'm going to read it. And by Frida McFadden, I mean, her books are just so fast-paced. I mean, even though the ones that I've read by her, even like recently, have been missed for me, they still keep me hooked. And yeah, I mean, I'm gonna read it. The next one is New to Me and Favorite New Authors. Okay, so I have Jessa Hastings, obviously not this book, but yeah, the author Jessa Hastings, because I mean, I only read her books this year, and she has become my favorite new author. And then we have Rena Kent. Definitely Rena Kent has been like on my TBR. Like, I mean, like, her books have been on my TBR, and I've been wanting to read her books for like a very long time, and I'm so happy that I was able to do so this year. I'm going to grab more books by her. Yeah, that's that. I'm definitely going to be. And then actually, apart from those 2 authors, also have Claire Douglas. All these books are new to me because I read them this year, and these are like all first timers as an author, like for me. So yeah, so Claire Douglas too. I think I added like some of her other books on my TBR, and I'm hoping I'm going to enjoy them as much as this one. So yeah, her writing was really entertaining and really good. Yeah. So next one is Newest Fictional Crush. Okay, that one is not going to be hard. I just need to find the book. Where's the book? Oh yeah. Okay, so Newest Fictional Crush is from this series. If you're tired of me showing this series, I'm sorry, but like, this is just to show you that I'm full on obsessed with this series, and I'm obsessed with the MMC. Like, he is my newly fictional crush, and his name is Kyril. He's literally the definition of a morally gray character. Like when I'm thinking about morally gray character in a dark romance, I think of him. He is obsessive. He is, oh gosh, he is everything and more. Like as soon as I met him in the book, I knew I was going to be obsessed with him. Like Rena Kent knew what she was doing with this character, and I absolutely loved him. I think this is like my first time that I've ever like been obsessed over like an MMC. I don't think I've ever been obsessed with an MMC. Like he's my first, and I hope to be hooked on more of him MMCs while I read her other books. So that's Carol for you. I'm actually going to find some fan art of him and post it here just so that you guys can have an idea. But I feel like for me, it's more of the things that he does. Oh gosh, yeah, you need to read this book or this trilogy. Books that made you cry. Okay, so I am not like a big crier when it comes to books. I'm a crier in real life. I cry for like literally almost all, like anything. I cry when I'm angry. I cry when I'm frustrated. I cry when I don't know what to do. I just cry. But like I'm not much of a crier in books, but there are times where it's like my eyes are like watery and I'm like, oh yeah, like I'm about to cry. The first one is The Fabric of Our Souls by K.M. Moronova. I actually finished this recently as well in the month of June. I buddy read this with my bestie, my book bestie Stells, and we both really enjoyed it. It was very devastating. I cried because there is a plot twist. Well, I cried. There was a plot twist in the book that we didn't expect at all, and I really enjoyed this book. We both really enjoyed this book, loved it so much. And then the other book that actually got me crying wasn't this one actually, but it was, I think it was, yeah, this one. This book, okay, I shed a tear because I don't know, like I said, the way Jessa just writes the emotions of these characters, like how they're feeling, it's like you're in the book. Like I can feel every emotion that Magnolia feels. I can feel every emotion that BJ feels, and for me that is so rare because I don't think I've ever been this connected to any type of like characters emotionally. Get what I mean? So even though like they really piss me off, I'm always rooting for Magnolia and BJ together. Like I don't know how to explain. Like I think you can only understand what I'm saying if you get into this series, and I cannot wait to read more by Jessa Hastings because I'm really hoping to be as obsessed with her characters and her writing. Yeah, so I think that was this. Yeah, these things made me, oh yeah, sorry. And then June 1st, this was very, oh my gosh, yes, something happens in this book and oh my gosh, it was so sad. Like it happens like in the big, yeah, I don't know, I cried the second, like something happens like the second time that was really sad. Like something happens like very sad in the beginning, but something else happens and it's just so like, oh, like why did that have to happen? Broke my heart into a million pieces. But yeah, those are the books that made me cry so far this year. Books that made me happy. Okay, so June 1st by Jennifer Hartman. So you see, it made me cry, but it also made me so happy. Like I was smiling, like not throughout, but towards the end. It just, this book is just very much like all over the place with in terms of like my emotions. But yeah, made me happy. What else made me happy? I'm trying to see like out of the books, I don't know, I feel like this is the one that made me happy. I mostly read like thrillers throughout this year, and I don't think thrillers actually made me happy, you know. Yeah, so this book is the one that made me happy. The most beautiful book you bought this year or received. Okay, so the most beautiful book that I have received by, obviously this is a Fairy Loot special edition book. It is The Monster of Mine by Shalini Abesikara. I'm so sorry if I butchered that name. but look at how gorgeous this book is, please. Like, it's so pretty. And then we also have like the way it looks like here. It's so like, I'm obsessed. Like, I'm obsessed. Let me show you guys also the back. Like, see how like it looks like a painting? Like, it's like a watercolor. Like, it's so pretty. And then it also has like a different art at the back. Definitely one of my top most beautiful book that I received this year. And last but not least, books you need to read by the end of the year. Okay, so there's going to be quite a few. The first one is A Love Letter to Whiskey by Candy Stainer. I need to read this book this year. Like, I've had it on my shelf for like quite a while, and I need to read it because my book bestie raves about this book so much and literally tells me that I need to read it. And I have seen also like on TikTok, a lot of people that I, you know, trust their recommendations have said that they love this book so much. So I need to read this book. But like, tell me, why is it like so thick? Like, this book is about like 600 pages. It's like 182 pages. Like, this is a thick book. Anyway, so this is one of them, and I need to read this. Second one is Nightshade by Carrie Lark. Okay, but tell me why are these books so thick? Like, this is a gothic romance. It is a duology. I do have the second book on my shelf as well. The second book is called Infernium, and I need to read this book. The reason why I need to read this book is because I keep saying I'm going to read it, and like I don't. And it's been on my TBR on my physical shelf for like, I think it's been like 2 years now, or maybe a year, but like it's been for forever. And I love Carrie Lake. I read some of her books. I think the only one I remember reading is A Masters of Salt and Bone or something, and she's really good with her gothic romance. So this is a gothic paranormal romance. The next one we have is Fairy Tale by Veronica Lenz. Okay, no, but tell me why all these books are lengthy. Like, even the ones that I'm about to show you next, they're so thick. Anyway, so this is Fairy Tale by Veronica Lenz, and this is, I don't know if it's a paranormal, if it's a historical fiction, I don't know if it's a gothic, I don't know if it's a fantasy, I don't know if it's a romance. Like, it's meant to be all these things that I just said, and it's thick, but I am so excited. Like, how gorgeous is this cover? Like, I just heard that they stopped publishing this cover because she is getting like traditionally published, and they had to like change the cover, so they actually don't sell this cover anymore. And I'm so happy I got this one because I love the cover. Like, I don't know what it is about like indie paperbacks, they're so pretty. But like, I want to start this right now. Oh, also I'm going to be buddy reading this with Styles, so I'm so excited. The next one we have is Quicksilver by Kelly Hart. So obviously this is like a book talk sensation. Like, everyone has been raving about this book for a very long time. I don't tend to like gravitate in terms of like what's trending like on book talk and stuff, but I really want to get into more of like romantasy. And based on like what I heard about this book, if you're the kind of person that likes dark romance and like some paranormal romance, gothic romance, apparently you will really like this. So I definitely wanted to try it, and I need to read this year because I want to at least read one romantasy this year, and this is going to be one of them, because I feel like I'm probably going to just read two, but this is going to be my first romantasy ever, and I wanted the hype to kind of like die down before I get into this book. So I'm really hoping to love this book. Like, I better love this book. And I think the second one is going to come out soon, I think, but that's that. Then we have like another pile of books that I need to read this year, or that I want to read this year. Magnolia Parks, Into the Dark. So this is the last book in the series, and then we have the Daisy Hates. Okay, so sorry, this comes before this, so I'm supposed to start this one. This is The Great Undoing, Daisy Hates, but because I said that I didn't like the sorry, I'm just showing you guys because look at how gorgeous these covers are. Like this is so pretty. So anyway, so I'm supposed to start this one before I start the last one, but like I said, I really didn't like the Daisy Hates book, and I don't know, I hope like this is not going to put me in a reading slump. So this is why I haven't read the last book yet, because the book that I just finished, the Magnolia Parks, what is it, Magnolia Parks, maybe The Great Undoing or something, what is it called, The Long Way Home, sorry, The Long Way Home ended on a cliffhanger that literally got me like, oh my gosh, I need to pick up the next one like right now, but then I can't because I need to read this one first. So I don't know, I mean, this one is way shorter than any of the books in the series, so I'm actually happy about that. So I might, you know, just read it quickly and then dedicate maybe like one whole day and I finish this, and then I will start this one. I love the cover, and I know I'm going to love everything about this book, but it is very, very thick. Like, all these books are just scaring me. The next book that I really want to read is Valetti Crime Family by Willow Winters. This is basically 5 books in one. I've read All He'll Ever Be by her, and I think it was also 5 books in one. Yeah, I really liked her because I think she only writes mafia romances, and I love a good mafia romances, especially if it's well written and the plot is juicy. So yeah, she is really good, and I really hope to read this year. And then I have another one that's been like on my shelf for decades. It's this book, Greed by Eva Charles. So this actually is a series, I think, of like 5 books, and I literally have all the books on my shelf, and I haven't even read one yet. I think it is a mafia romance, but I need to read this ASAP because I feel like if I don't read it this year, I'm probably never going to read it. So I really want to read this book and start the series and see if I'm going to like it, so at least, you know, I could just start the series. So yeah, that's that for this mid-year book tag. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and yeah, it was fun doing this, you know, talking about all the books that I want to read, that I loved, that were disappointments of this year as well. I'll catch you guys on in my next video.